In just a few weeks, the FDA could expand access to the COVID-19 vaccines to students as young as middle school. Our ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl is going in depth on what that could mean for the future of school vaccination requirements.
Some universities like Rutgers, Cornell, and Brown are planning to require the COVID-19 vaccine for in-person learning this fall. But some kids are beginning to wonder, what about requirements at K-12 schools?
Will students need the vaccine to go back to campus?
Yes, so the short answer is yes. No different than students are vaccinated for measles or mumps.
The superintendent of LA Unified said earlier this year he supports a mandate, but experts say there are important differences between K-12 schools and universities.
At the university level, each institution mandates their own vaccine. At K-12, it's a state issue.
Professor Dorit Rice is an expert on vaccination law at UC Hastings.
There's a lot of litigation about K-12 school mandates going back to the 19th century. And almost always, the litigation upholds the school mandates.
California has been requiring immunizations in grade schools since the polio vaccine in 1961. There are currently 5 vaccines required for school enrollment. The most recent was for chickenpox. It became mandatory 5 years after it hit the market.
I don't think that we'll follow that pattern, and that's because COVID-19 shook our world. I would expect once it's licensed, states that will mandate it will move fast.
Here's the timeline. California is allowing students as young as 16 to book vaccine appointments this week. The FDA is reviewing Pfizer's application for kids 12 to 15 and could issue an emergency authorization in that group by next month. Vaccine makers are currently testing shots in kids as young as 6 months, and if all goes as planned, they expect to have authorization for them early next year. But legally speaking, there's a difference between emergency authorization and full FDA approval. And Professor Rice says it's not clear if states can impose a mandate at the authorization stage.
We don't have any cases on this. It could go either way.
She thinks lawmakers will most likely wait until the vaccine is fully licensed for all school-aged children, which could happen in 2022. And she says the nature of the pandemic will be key.
If it dies down, we probably won't see a mandate. If it's still around and causing extensive harms, we'll probably see mandates not next school years, but we'll probably start seeing them the year after.
The California Department of Public Health told me it would only consider making the COVID vaccine mandatory for K-12 schools if it were FDA approved for kids, there was a recommendation from the CDC, and there was enough vaccine supply for all children. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.